Good day to you, dear listener. I see you've come looking for answers about how the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super stacks up against Half-Life 2 RTX. Now I know what you're thinking. That card's been around the block a few times. Is it still worth the fuss? And to that I say, let's find out together. We're gonna take this card through the paces, testing at different resolutions with all the default setting presets. From low to ultra, we'll see how it holds up and whether it's still got the chops to handle that ray trace goodness, even if some people say it adds an odd style. So sit tight, let's see if this GPU's got what it takes to play this. Starting off on low because baby steps. At 4K, things get a little rough. In Nova Prospect, we're cruising in the low to mid-20s. Playable? Sure. Comfortable? Not unless you like your gameplay with a side of stutter. Ravenholm though? That place drops harder than my jaw when I first played this game as a kid. Low 20s, sometimes even 10 FPS. Yeesh. Now drop it to 1080p and things start to look up. Nova Prospect smooths out into the 30s. Nothing to write home about, but hey, I've seen worse. Ravenholm still feels a bit shady, hanging out in the low 30s, especially outside. I've seen sandpaper smoother than that, but at least the action's moving. Switching to 720p is like switching from a busted scooter to a decent set of wheels. Nova Prospect cruises in the high 40s, and Ravenholm, high 30s to low 40s out in the open, and indoors, it soars over 60 FPS. Smooth as a jazz solo on a rainy night. Then we try 1440p, middle of the road. Nova Prospect stays in the low 40s, still walking the beat just fine. Ravenholm dips into the 30s, which isn't bad, but it's no walk in the park either. Bottom line, on low, you can squeeze some decent performance out of the 2070 Super if you keep that resolution on a leash. Go too high, and you're asking for trouble. Moving on to medium. At 4K, things get a little more complicated. Nova Prospect mysteriously drops down to the low to mid-20s again. Ravenholm, same story. We're talking low 20s. Maybe an anomaly here or there. Smooth? Nah. Playable? If you're desperate. Now at 1080p, the 2070 Super steps it up a notch. Nova Prospect hangs in the low to mid-30s. Better than before, but it's still kinda shaky. Ravenholm? Mid-20s to low 30s. If you're outside, things get a little rough, but it's still moving. 720p though, that's where the 2070 Super starts getting its act together. Nova Prospect shoots up into the mid-40s. Feels like the first decent option in a while. Ravenholm? Now that's where the action is. I was cruising with high 30s outdoors and breezing over 60 FPS indoors. Looks like the 2070 Super knows how to handle business when the heat's on. Now at 1440p, things get a little muddled. Nova Prospect, mid-20s. Not terrible, but we're talking just good enough territory. Ravenholm lingers in the mid to high 20s. Not quite the best performance, but it's no dead end either. In short, at medium, the 2070 Super holds its own. We're not breaking records here, but at least it's playable. If you're looking for that sweet spot, drop the resolution just a little and you'll be in business. Here's where the trouble really starts. High settings. At 4K, we're deep in the red zone now. Nova Prospect, mid-zeros. Yep, that's right. The frame rate's lower than a rat in a sewer. Ravenholm's not much better, hanging around in the mid to high zeros. Might as well be watching paint dry. Ain't no way you're running this at 4K on high, unless you're a glutton for punishment. Drop it down to 1080p, and now you're getting a little more action. Nova Prospect stays in the high 10s, and Ravenholm, also high 10s. Better than 4K, but not by much. I hope you have the patience of a saint if you choose to play this way. 720p brings a slight improvement, like a bad TV series turning into a halfway decent show. Nova Prospect stays in the low 30s, but outside in Ravenholm, things dip into the mid-20s, only to pick back up into the mid-30s indoors. It's like you're half in the game, half in a slideshow. At 1440p, we're still getting nowhere fast. Nova Prospect's in the low 10s, Ravenholm's got the same. High settings, at this resolution, it's a struggle. Can't say you're getting the thrills you signed up for. In short, at high, the 2070 Supers walk in the line between playable and don't bother. If you're chasing performance here, you're not catching up with the big dogs. Stick to medium if you want smooth sailing. But if you're really feeling like punishing yourself, well... Ultra settings. At 4K, we've reached the don't even bother territory. Nova Prospect, mid-zeros. Ravenholm, same deal, mid-zeros. You're not going anywhere like this. Ultra settings at 4K are dead on arrival. You're better off watching the game on someone else's computer at this point. Now, let's talk 1080p. Nova Prospect, mid to high 10s. Ravenholm, same story, mid to high 10s. Performance might feel like it's crawling along, but hey, you're still in the game, just barely. It's the kind of setup where you can say you're playing, but you ain't exactly winning any awards. Drop it to 720p, and it gets a little less painful. Nova Prospect hovers in the mid to high 20s. Ravenholm is a bit of a wash, hovering around 20 FPS. Nothing spectacular, but you'll get through without too much wincing. 1440p, you ask? Oh, it's a mess. Low 10s in Nova Prospect, with Ravenholm hanging out in the low 10s to high zeros. You're not even playing the game at this point, you're just pretending to. In short, ultra settings, don't even think about it unless you're trying to give your GPU a nervous breakdown. The 2070 Super wasn't built for this kind of abuse. You'll get better results if you take it down more than a few notches. So there you have it, folks. The NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2070 Super's performance on Half-Life 2 RTX across all settings and resolutions. If you're looking to play it smooth, keep it at medium or lower, unless you're fine with your frame rate crawling like a wounded spider. 1080p is the sweet spot, but if you're really pushing it, drop to 720p and let the 2070 Super do its thing. High and Ultra? Well, they're more like the bad guys in this story, always leaving you hanging. So, if you've got a 2070 Super and want to get into Half-Life 2 RTX, remember this, you're gonna have to make some choices. But at least now you know what to expect when you load it up. Now go on, get out of here and play the game. This tech demo's full of excitement, and it's waiting for you.